Hey there, welcome back to Roads Optional. Welcome back to another video with my trusty, faithful LJR, or Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon. A lot of different names for these cars, but today's episode is actually how to install a dash cam on your Jeep. Now this is actually pretty similar installation across a variety of different vehicles. We've actually done one recently on a Lexus GX470 where we did a front and rear dash cam. Today we are doing a slim, like low profile dash cam from my friends over at Viofo for the Jeep Wrangler. And yeah, I'm going to show you how to install it. Pretty straightforward. Going to use a fuse tap kit, and yeah, let's get started. So why would you install a dash cam? One option is honestly to get footage from your trails, your adventures. It's a pretty easy way to basically have a constant camera facing forward. There's also rear facing ones as well. Maybe I'll get one of those from Viofo eventually. But here in the Jeep, it's gonna be fun to have a front facing camera, honestly. I use GoPros a lot too, but that's just one feature if you don't want to dish out for a GoPro. I know GoPros are kind of expensive, and honestly the footage that modern dash cams provide now are pretty solid. And this actual dash cam has a sensor made by Sony, so it's a pretty nicer Sony Starvis sensor. So footage should be pretty good quality. But the other main reason I would say is dash cams can provide clarity in case of an accident. You know, if it's one person's word against another, you have the side of truth on yours, and so I think everyone should be truthful, honestly, but this helps keep people honest. And honestly, it's actually helped other people that I've known in the case where they observed an accident and then they see someone else lying about what happened. You just have the proof with a camera. So let's unbox this thing. So this is the dash cam in question, the Viofo VS1, I believe it is. Yes, VS1. So it's actually kind of their smaller, more minimalist front-facing dash cam. Should be pretty easy to install actually, but they did send a HK5 hardwire kit, so you can actually hardwire this even to the car's battery to provide constant dash cam recording. I'm actually be using a fuse tap in my case, but this is a great option to actually capture things even when your Jeep is not actually running, which is kind of cool. So it actually has a low voltage cutoff as well, so it prevents your battery being completely drain dead. And yeah, so this is a cool feature to have. And there's even a wireless Bluetooth control. Basically how dash cams work is they will like run constantly and override old footage to make space for new footage, because you don't always need the footage. But if you do want to protect and save a clip for some reason, you can use this remote control to actually protect and save it. So might be throwing this somewhere as well. But here it is, the dash cam itself. It's actually very, very small, as you can see with my hand here. Look at that. No screen or anything, so that's how they keep the size down on this one. USB-C for power, love to see that. And a micro SD card slot. Looks like a microphone button to turn the microphone on and off, and microphone or SD, oh, a save button. So I guess the save button will do the same thing that this will do remotely. So that's what that is. And 3M mounting, which is also something I like to see. So you can position this on your windshield however you need it, and adjust the angle. Underneath here, presumably, we'll have user manual. Ooh, there goes everything else. Trim removal tool, it's cool that they include that. An actual SD card, that's also great. Even has Viofo on it. Viofo, I don't really know how I'm saying their name. And then this is for using a cigarette lighter to power the dash cam, but we can also use our actual built-in kit. But a lot of different options for powering the dash cam, which is nice. Extra 3M here for mounting. That's everything we need. So my plan on installation, open up the passenger side here. Get inside the fuse box. That's pretty easy. There's actually this thing that slides out here, and at least this is how it works on a TJ Jeep. Now there's other different fuse boxes for other vehicles. There we go. Couldn't actually film while doing it, but this slides out from this crevice. Then the fuse box, or then the glove box just pulls right out. I just have this dangling from my head unit I recently installed. I believe fuse number 15 is the fuse for the rear wiper, which I hear is a pretty solid one to use for dash cam. So I'll be tapping into that fuse, and then I'll try to run wire like up through here, up along here maybe. I don't know, still figuring out exactly where I should run it, but in theory, this is hollow enough to run a wire maybe run it up along here just so I can get it up to there. Now there may be other additional ways to wire dash cams, such as using your rearview mirror if it is the powered one like I have here. So that's possibly one option, but oops, I'm not actually going to do mine that way because yeah, I just didn't feel like messing up the rearview mirror or doing anything like that. I didn't want to splice in any wiring. Just going to keep it pretty simple for you guys because not every car has a rearview mirror, especially a lot of these Jeeps came with non-powered ones. So to make this as clear for all Jeeps as possible, just going to keep it simple and use the actual fuse tap. All right, quick update here. I actually pulled this trim off right here, and that allowed me to get access behind here. Basically I fed this wire, you know, the skinny part that plugs into the actual camera, I fed that up through the glove box, came out this corner, and it's gonna go up along the windshield frame out to where the dash cam will sit. Much easier to feed it that way than to go down because of all this stuff, which is too thick to fit through this actual bend. So all this stuff will be wrapped neatly inside the glove box area, and this should allow me to run this all the way up and around. All right, now you can see the wire. Well, now you can't see the wire because it was so cleanly installed, but got it run right up here through here. And because the dash cam mounting point is so far up here and the plug-in is right here, that means this wire was able to dangle with that thick part you saw up there, which will actually be great. It keeps this from coming down at all. So I'll just plug that in, tuck the rest in once I do. But now it's just pretty much wiring it up. Should be pretty easy. All right, got the wire wrapped up and pushed back there. So all that's sticking out now are the power capable wires. Going to wire these up to this fuse tap. I've pulled the number 15 fuse out, which I confirmed is the rear wiper, and that goes into this, so this will slide into there. The thing that came on the end of this was really terrible. It's like one of those crimp cap things. It's much better to use an actual heat solder situation. So you can use a full-on solder thing or one of these solder seal wire connectors, which you should use a heat gun. This is available at Harbor Freight. That's where I got this one, but I can leave links in the description below at Amazon for all this stuff. So yeah, gonna get this wired up and we'll see if it works. And here's what it looks like now that it's been heat gun soldered, whatever you call it. The heat gun is fantastic to have. Like, this is invaluable. It's how I did the head unit on the Jeep and everything. So that's if you're any sort of automotive enthusiast, I would definitely get one of those. Even for house projects, it's actually pretty great. So the grounding that I first attempted down here didn't work. This thing is kind of invaluable because I also was using the wrong fuse. Somewhere I saw on the forums that fuse 15 was the rear wiper, but it's actually fuse 8. In fact, the glove box itself tells you on the side of it, so that's good to look at. This thing right here is a fuse tester, I guess, or a current tester stick. So I'm testing the ground right here, and that does actually work. When I hold up to fuse 8, this thing will actually light up. See that? So that's how I know that's a good fuse to use. So that's what I'll do. Now for the grounding, I've decided to take this speaker grill off. That was pretty easy, just 2 screws on the side here, and then pops off. And then there's a very obvious ground, so I will use that. There we go. Started. Recording started. It just immediately started recording. I'm guessing it pre-formatted the SD card or something, but immediately started working. So that's the ticket. Fuse number 8 on the late TJ, or whatever your glove box says clearly. And then this ground also worked. So now that it's all tested and operational, I will now batten up the wires and make it look good. There we go. Here's a point of view reference. The camera's right up there, barely in my sight. Actually, not really in my sight at all. And then right here is an actual button. So I can press that to save a clip on the camera. If I see something of interest, I can lock that clip. That's really easily accessible right there. So I mounted this across from my super cool sync wire phone mount, which I can't show you in action because I'm using the phone to record that this would mount to. But yeah, everything's coming together on this Jeep. This is sweet. Got all these GoPro mounting points, dash cam, of course. Yeah, everything's coming together. Huge thanks to Viofo for the dash cam. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of this thing. So as you can tell by the footage overlaid on the screen, it actually looks quite nice. And it actually looks good in the day and at nighttime, thanks to the nicer Sony Starvis sensor. The dash camera itself is pretty compact, and the HDR is great. HDR meaning high dynamic range, which basically makes the shadows less dark, the highs less bright, kind of brings everything together, captures a bit more detail in the darks and the shadows. So everything looks pretty good on this thing. So let me know what you guys think of the dash cam, and what else should I do to this Jeep? Things are still in progress. I still need to figure out a reverse camera situation. So cameras are not done yet. And maybe even some USB ports in the car. That would be kind of nice. Yeah, there's still things to do. But until next time, cheers.